Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Parul and this is the first video of Microsoft Excel lecture series. Before we proceed, I would request you to please subscribe my channel and click the bell icon so that you don't miss my any next lecture video. Now let's quickly start. Let's first talk about the work area of the Microsoft Excel, which is known as spreadsheet. On the spreadsheet, there are rows which are made up of horizontal lines and there are columns which are made up of vertical lines. Every row is identified by a number and every column is identified by an alphabet. You can see that. Rows and columns intersect to make these boxes that you can see, and these boxes are known as cells. Now, every cell has a unique address which is known as cell address, or you can say cell reference, which is made up of its column alphabet and row number. For example, this cell on which we are currently has the cell address G6. We can say that cell reference of this cell is G6. Let's click on another cell. For example, here its cell reference is O8, which is also available in the name box. You can check here. Whenever you click on any cell, its cell reference is displayed here. Guys, the cell references are very important to know because they are very important, and we are definitely gonna use them in our formulas. Let's jump to the formatting panel. Before talking about formatting, I would like to tell you about selection. When we click on a cell, only that cell is selected, and whatever the formatting you apply, that is applied to only that particular cell. For example, let's say I am on this cell. I wrote something like Microsoft Excel. Click outside of the cell once, then click again on it. Now this cell is selected. Now let's try changing its format. For example, I'm gonna change its font. I'm gonna change its size to 24, bold, italics, underline. Let's change its color as well. Now this formatting is only on cell whose reference is C4. Please don't worry about the text going out of the cell. It is in the one cell only. So this formatting is only on the cell C4. If I click on any other cell and try writing something else, it will be same. It will be default. See, the formatting changes to default. So the formatting is applied to the selection. If I select only one cell and applies the formatting, that will be applied to only one cell. Now, if you want to apply the formatting on more than one cell, then you will have to select multiple cells like this. So basically, whatever you change in the formatting panel, it is applied to the selection. That's all. Now, next option, very important, is Format Painter. Format Painter is basically used to copy the formatting of one text and apply it to some other text. Let's say I have two texts on the screen. One is this and one is this. I can see that its formatting is different from that. What I want to do is I want to copy its formatting. When I talk about formatting, it means I want to copy its applied font, its size, its color, and all the other effects. And I want to apply all those effects on this text. So this can be done using the Format Painter. Let's try that. First of all, you have to select that text whose formatting you want to copy. Now click on Format Painter and finally select that text on which you want to apply the formatting. It will become just like that text. That's the Format Painter. Now let's talk about the highlighter, which is used to highlight the text, or you can say the background. Let's select some text and you can apply any color on the cell. This will highlight the text, or more specifically you can say that it will fill the color in particular cell, and it will work again on the selection basis. If we select multiple cells, it will be applied on the selection. Now let's move to alignment. Alignment is basically the position of text in the cell. To demonstrate it, let me quickly increase the size of our cell C4. How to do that? You can just take your cursor like this, and when it changes to this, you can increase the width. Similarly, you can increase the size of row, width of column a little bit more. Now, alignment. You can see that the bottom alignment is selected, hence the text is at bottom position. You can choose top, middle and bottom, anything that you want, but it will be visible only if you increase the size of the cell. If you don't increase the size of the cell, it will not be visible. And again, left, center, right, whatever you can choose. Now these six will combine this. If we combine these 6 positions, we can make 9 positions, like top left, top center, top right. Similarly, middle left, middle center, middle right, and right left, right center, and right right. These can be bottom right. These can be 9 positions in this cell. Again, you can change the direction of the text whatever you want, but please keep one thing in mind. If you want now normal direction, then you will have to do undo, which can be done using the shortcut Control Z. Next is web text. It's very good option. Let's say I write again Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel. You can see that my Excel is going out of the cell boundary. However, it is in one cell, but it is going outside the boundary of the cell. I want the text to be placed in this cell only, whose reference is F13. How do I do that? This can be done using the option wrap text. Just click on that. The text will be automatically adjusted in the particular cell. This is the wrap text option. Merge and center. When you want to make multiple, you can select multiple cells and you want to make it one cell, you can do that using merge and center. See, the entire selection changed into one cell. Now this is one cell. Now a question arises, we selected multiple cells and made it one cell, and since it's a cell, there would be some cell reference of it. And there are multiple cells, then what would be its cell reference? That would be the address of or reference of first cell in this region. In this region, we can see that the first cell is H4. Therefore, H4 will be the cell reference of this entire region, or I can say this merged cell. And now if you want to unmerge, then you can again click on that. This will unmerge all the cells and all the cells will be visible again. This is about merge and center. This is again format. For example, if we write 1 2 3, this will be considered as like this because it's general format. You can change it to number. It will be specifically show some decimals to make it a number. You can use currency. It will show the currency option, accounting, short date, long date. All these are formats of data that you can write or use in your Excel worksheets. These all are again predefined styles that you can apply. These are the predefined formattings that you can apply, that include color, foreground color, background color. However, we can see they are self-descriptive. If some value is bad and we want to show that, we can select bad option. Similarly you can select good option, neutral option, and there are more styles that you can go through. We'll be using conditional formatting and rest of the options and further video series. Let's now quickly jump to the first ever formula, the very basic formula, which is of doing total of some values, which is sum. For example, here I have got a list of some items and their prices, and I want to calculate their total. Now there are many ways to find the sum of some values. A very basic and shorthand way to find the sum of the values is select all the values and one cell more where the answer would be displayed, and then press Alt and equal. Alt equal will give you the sum of the values. This option is known as auto sum. You don't have to apply any formula, you just have to select the values that you want to add and one more cell where you want to display the answer, and then press Alt equal combination on your keyboard. The sum will be there. But now let's dive into the formula. Before I talk about some formula, I want to tell something about the formulas. How to write a formula. Whenever you have to write a formula, you have every formula is started it's every formula starts with an equal sign. For example, you want to use the formula of sum, count, many formulas are there. Every formula starts with an equal sign. Then comes a keyword. Basically, keyword is not a formula, but on the place of keyword there is some word that shows that which formula that you are gonna use. For example, if you want to add the values, you will write sum. So sum is the keyword. If you want to count the values, you will write count. So count is the keyword. Now let's write sum. Then after, we have to specify the range of values on which we want to apply the formula, and the range is always applied in parentheses, that is like this. Now, when within the parentheses we have to specify the range. Now let's write equal sum parenthesis start. Now it's asking for number 1, number 2, number 3. What I'm gonna do is I'm simply using my mouse to select the values. See, there the range is being given B2 colon B7. What happens is it will take the values from B2 cell to B7 cell and will add all of them. See, answer is same. This is the way to use the formula to calculate the total of the values. And if you want to edit the formula again, you can click on that particular cell, either double click it or you can press F2. Oh, I'm sorry, F2. This will edit the formula. Similarly, if you want to count the values, equal to count is a keyword, parenthesis start. Again, you have to specify the range, bracket close. It will give you the answer. That is, there are 6 values in the range. Now, let's talk about range. Range is basically the area of the cells or the cells whose values we want to take. Well, let's say I want to access this cell, its value, whatever it is, 4500 or let's say 45,000, sorry, I'm sorry, and 44,000 whatsoever. I want to access this value. I can access this value using its cell reference. How? What I will have to do is I will have to write an equal sign and then B2. It will access this value, and when I will press enter, it will just give me the value that is in the cell B2. So this is how we can access other cells using their cell references. Now, what is the benefit of using the ranges in the formulas? For example, if you edit this formula, we gave the range B2 to B7. Now, what's the benefit of this B2 to B7? For in future, let's say I change the price of any item. For example, 3500 to 35,000, sorry, to 33,000. What will happen is, if we have used the ranges, then what will happen is wherever the ranges would be used, the answer will be changed automatically. See, I have decreased the price of HP desktop by 2000. The total has also decreased by 2000. This is the benefit of ranges, because it gives us whatever is in the cell. Cell reference gives us whatever the value is in the cell. And similarly, if I change the value of 45,000 to 44,000, it will be reflected in the sums as well as here, where I access this B2 value. This is the cell. These are the cell references. And one more thing about the range. If you want to, let's say I'm gonna use the count formula again, equals to count bracket start. I want to give this range. Either I can select it with mouse, or I can also specify this with from keyboard. How? The range, I want to give this range in the formula. So this range, what we have to do is we have to start from the first cell in the range, that is A1. We have to type A1, then after colon, and to the last cell of the range, B8, parenthesis closed, it will count the value. Have you noticed that it gave me only 7 values? It gave me only 7. Oh, I'm sorry. It gave me only 7 answers, though the values are more than 7. What does it show? The count formula only counts the numeric values, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the count formula. Count formula basically only counts the numeric values and ignores the text values. So what if we want to count the text values as well? There you can use count A. Again, let's specify A1 to B8. It will count all the values, numeric as well as text. There's one more formula, count blank, which will count the blank cells if there are any in the range. Since there is not any blank cell, it will give us the answer 0. Let me quickly write their names in the front of them so that it's easy to remember in the future. Count A, count blank. I'm gonna sorry, it's good. Count blank. Next, let's also talk about average. If you want to calculate the average of some values, we can simply equals, and keyword would be average. Then you can specify the range. You can either specify the range using mouse, or you can specify the range by typing yourself. When you press enter, it will give you the average of the values. Sum, count, count A, count blank, average. Next very important formulas are maximum and minimum. If you want to calculate maximum value in the range of values and minimum values in the range of values, you can use equals max, give the range of values, parenthesis close, it will give you the maximum value, which is obviously 80810. Similarly, for minimum, you will have to write the keyword min, give the range B2 to B8, 550. This is how you can calculate the maximum and minimum value from the range of values. Maximum and minimum. So these are the basic formulas that we use on the numbers in our daily life. I'll be talking about some advanced formulas and how do we use them in our next videos. And in the basics now, since we are talking about basics of Microsoft Excel, this is all that comes in the basics. Let me tell you something more. For example, let's say if we are if you are making a report in which I have to include all the months, what I can do, I can write first month in short form and second month in short form, and I would not need to write all the months and thereafter what I will do is select these two, take your mouse to this corner. When it changes to this, you can simply click and drag the mouse downwards. It will automatically fill your further months. Similarly, if you write the months in full, not in short forms, the further months will be given to you in full. I'm sorry, I think I spelled February wrong. Yeah, that's correct. Let's try this again. Worked. Similarly, it will work for days of week. You can try that thing too. Sunday, Monday, and for numbers as well. 1, 2, 3. Let's say I wrote 1, 2, 3. This, and I want to take this count to 100. Simply I can drag, and the further number will be put automatically like this. So this is useful when we are creating a report in which there is a column of serial numbers and the item count will be more than 100. So instead of writing all the numbers turn by turn 1, 2, 3 and all, we can simply write first two numbers and select and drag to downwards up to 100. This will give you the column with numbers up to whatever you want. One last option that we'll be talking in this video lecture is this borders. You can see that there are borders, but these are non-printable. When you will print this worksheet, these borders will not be printed. You can check it in print preview. See, the borders are not there because these are actually not borders, these are grid lines, and grid lines are just for our help, and they are not printed when you print the worksheet. But what if you want to print these borders? Then you will actually have to turn on the real borders. How do we do that? Just select this. For example, let's say I want to take the print of this report, and with borders I would select this list, and then I will go to the borders. Just click on this arrow. Very quickly option is all borders. If you click all borders, it will give you the real borders. And now check the print preview. There will be the borders. This is the real border. This is how you turn on the borders, turn on the real borders, so that they can be printed when you print the worksheet. Similarly, you can select the report, and you can also switch them off. There will be no borders. Similarly, bottom border, if you want only the bottom border to be printed or to be on whatsoever. Similarly, top border, left border, right border, no border. If you will click no border, there will be no border at all. Outside borders, there will be only outside borders. There will be a box, and rows and columns will not be there. Like this. This is how you can use the option borders. If you want to turn on the borders of the entire sheet, you can select the entire sheet pressing Ctrl A, and then you can click all borders. The real borders will be there. This is how you can turn on the borders so that they can be visible in your printouts. That's all for today. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching my video.